Hello everyone, thanks for clicking on my video. My name is Katie and today we are going to make an artwork using some alcohol markers. And I'm using marker paper. It was that kind I just showed a minute ago. It's just a cheaper brand. I think I got it at Walmart. I originally got it for my kids, but I stole it from them. Alcohol markers. So when I first started watching artists on YouTube many years ago, one of the artists I liked to watch was Bailey J. So if you want to go look up her channel, and she did a lot of alcohol markers back like 5 years ago or so, and I thought they were super interesting because I didn't even know that our alcohol markers existed. So the benefits of using an alcohol marker versus the regular water-based markers such as Crayola and all of those is that you can blend the markers with each other, one color into another. They kind of just the colors bleed into each other, so it makes a blend instead of sitting on top of each other with the harsher lines that you get using a water-based marker. They also do not rip up the paper the way that water-based markers do. When you layer a water-based marker or you super saturate the paper, it's going to tear apart the paper and little pieces of paper will come off onto your marker and just make the paper jagged and uneven, and it doesn't look very good. The alcohol markers, you can put a lot of ink on the page and it's not going to rip up the paper. I don't know exactly why, but it doesn't have that problem. It does bleed through the paper, so if you have paper underneath the paper you're coloring on, it's going to get ink on it. Anyways, so I decided to draw this girl floating in the water with some flowers floating over top of her hair. And it's not an original idea because I've seen a couple other artists draw a similar scene and I liked it, so I wanted to try it. The actual drawing and the way it's set up is original, I guess. I decided that. And yeah, so I drew this on my Samsung tablet and then I printed it off on my printer. And that's what I'm coloring in now. I printed it off on the marker paper. And then I do have a reference next to me on my phone, which is actually a drawing done by Bailey J, that YouTuber that I mentioned. And I kind of just put that up there as a reference for the alcohol markers because I thought if I could just look at that once in a while, maybe I could remember, kind of know what I'm doing. Because I haven't really used alcohol markers very much. So when I was watching YouTubers use them and stuff, of course I wanted some. But back 5-6 years ago, they were using Copic markers, and those are super expensive. And I did buy a few of them, but I'd only buy them one at a time, so I could use the coupon at Michael's and get them for like almost half off. So I had a small collection of Copic markers, and then I bought a pack of the Winsor & Newton brush markers. So I have a few of those too. And I just used them a little bit at a time, and then after a while, more companies started making alcohol markers, and the prices went down, not on Copics, but on the newer ones. Because a lot of them were coming from China, of course, but that made them affordable. So I have a set of one of the cheaper brands that I got off of Amazon. And yeah, so I still don't use them as much as I thought I would because, well, they're kind of unfamiliar to me, so. But I see them sitting on my desk. I have them in this cool marker holder thing I got for Christmas. And I thought, I need to use those, so that's why we're using them today. And I actually liked using them. I definitely need a little bit more practice, but I think we can do that. And so after I put all the markers down, I did use my colored pencils on top just to give some places a little bit more darkness or refinement. But overall, I think that works really well to use colored pencils on top at the end. And then I know I've seen people use the white Posca paint marker to give some final highlights at the end, which I was going to do that too, but then I decided I didn't think it needed it. So, coloring in the hair was pretty fun. I think I probably could have spent a little more time and maybe even got more darker browns for some contrast, but we'll have to do that next time. So unfortunately I do have a cold again, so I'm trying not to sniff here. But this cold season has been bad. I don't know why, but we are just getting sick almost every 2 weeks. So I'll be glad when spring comes. Hopefully we'll be a little healthier. We can go outside more. It's been so cold and snowy. It doesn't usually snow a ton here. It always snows a little, but then it melts. And it snowed right away in October this year. It snowed a lot. And then it got cold, and so the snow just turned into like ice, and now it's never gonna go away. So that's my complaining about snow. So here, working on the eyes. Looks like I'm giving her eyelashes. I liked doing the eyeshadow part. I thought that looked cool. With the brown and the yellow in the middle, so it almost looks like it's shimmery. I was proud of that. I felt like using the markers was a quicker process too than painting, or definitely quicker than doing a picture with just colored pencils. That takes forever. I also got a actual microphone for my videos, so I'm hoping that that makes them sound a little better too. Before I was just using my phone microphone, which I don't think was necessarily bad, but I've tested this one a couple times. I think it sounds better. So here I am using this light blue color for the water, and I think if I could go back, I would do a second layer of this marker because it looks pretty streaky. I mean, it dries a little bit less streaky than it looks right now, but I should have done another layer, but I didn't want it to get too dark. Because that's the other thing with alcohol markers, when you put one layer on top of another of the same color, it will be darker. So you can get multiple darknesses with one marker, which is really pretty cool. But I was worried about the water being too dark if I did that in this drawing. But I think it probably needs it, so I might go back still and do that later. I remember I was so afraid to color over the parts of the face and the hair that are underwater at first, because I wasn't sure how. I mean, I knew it would be transparent, but I didn't want to ruin what I'd already done. But eventually I just went for it. And it looks good. It did what I wanted to do. It looks like it's underwater. But overall, I really liked using the markers, and since I have them sitting on my desk, I really do need to use them more, so I think I will be doing that. I've also been using some Tombow markers lately in my sketchbook. They are cool to use because you can add water to them and then makes them almost like a watercolor. So I might do a video about those eventually too. Unfortunately, I got my side of my head in the frame a couple times, so ignore that. And I was sick this day because this was only yesterday or the day before, so my hair is like not brushed, and don't look at me is what I'm saying. So with the colored pencils, adding the details in her eyes, and that looks good, and giving her some hair on her eyebrows. And like I said, the colored pencil really does work really well on top of the markers. I think a lot of people do that, so. Anyways, I appreciate you watching my video. If you like what you see, please subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next video. Thank you.